والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم صدق الله العظيم. One of the reasons why many people in the lifetime of Sayyidina Imam Hussein radiallahu anhu failed very badly and earned the wrath and displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially the people of Kufa and the armies there. The armies were against him anyway, but the people of Kufa, they were in his favor. They knew from their hearts the status and to some extent they loved Sayyidina Imam Hussein radiallahu anhu. One of the reasons they failed to live up to that is that they were not aware of the adab, the etiquettes, the adab of the sheikh, adab of the teacher, of the one's guide, especially the spiritual guide. They didn't fulfill that, but just actually expressed love verbally, that we love, and some actions that come, we will honor you, we will do this, we will do that. But they were not fully aware, or nor they themselves tried to live up to the requirement, basically the adab of the sheikh, who was the sheikh, the imam of the time, Sayyidina Imam Hussein radiallahu anhu. So imagine that what kind of loss and what kind of harm a person can suffer if a person is not aware of the adab. If a person does not know the etiquettes, does not observe them, and in spite of expressing love, in spite of physically being with a great wali, great sahabi, great person from Ahlul Bayt, they failed. And instead of attaining the pleasure of Allah, they attained the displeasure of Allah. And those people who did not come with Imam Hussein radiallahu anhu, or who did not call him, although they were living at that time, they weren't harmed, because actually they didn't claim any such thing. But the people of Iraq, people of Kufa especially, they claimed, and then they were not aware. So it is utmost important to know the adab and etiquettes of a mashayikh, especially in order to benefit from them. A person can easily be harmed, like actually these people of Kufa did harm themselves. But what Imam Hussein radiallahu ta'ala did not condemn them. This is not the way of the Anbiya alayhimus salam, or the Ashab-e Karam, or the Awliya Allah, to condemn people. But Allah condemned them. That is a big problem. If a prophet forgives you, if a messenger forgives you, if a sahabi forgives you, if a wali forgives you, but Allah does not forgive you, you are in big problem. If Allah punishes you, they can't save, because they can't intercede without the permission of Allah. If Allah wants to forgive them, He will give them permission. If not, they will. This also happened in the lifetime of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding the munafiqeen who outwardly, when we say munafiqeen, we think they are people who passed away. Now there are more than 50% they are munafiqeen. And maybe I am one of them. Rather, I think it is sure that we are included in them. They are not people who outwardly or inwardly would believe otherwise, but actually they thought that they are believers. They expressed love. But when the time of test came, that's when they failed. Some of them were outright fraudsters, but others were believers by faith, but munafiqeen by practice. So many a time they did come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and sometimes they would make an excuse or mention something to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have this excuse, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would accept their excuse, but Allah did not accept their excuse. Rather, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was instructed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to ask even forgiveness for them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Istaghfir lahum aw la tastaghfir lahum, in tastaghfir lahum 70 marratan falan yaghfir Allahu lahum." If you ask forgiveness for them, if you forgive them or not, or probably doesn't matter. Even if you were asked forgiveness for 70 times, you forgive yourself them 70 times, Allah is not going to forgive. When you violate the rights of some creation, the problem is not only that that person forgive you. The other problem is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also has a right that He forgives you. It might be the case a parent forgive you, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forgive you of that crime. It might be the case the Prophet forgives you, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forgive you. The Sahabi forgive you. Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu forgives people, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes them. Similarly, the Mashayikh and Awliya, Sulaha, they are compassionate people and they might forgive people, but then people can earn retribution from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they called the Imam to a place and then Sayyidina Imam Hussain and then didn't live up to, they didn't know etiquette. Similarly, it happened we are applying in our time as well. It happened with you call a scholar, you call a sheikh or a scholar from Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh, from America, wherever, to participate in something, and then you don't actually follow the etiquettes and manner. You call these people to marriages, like many people are very fond that we call them to convene marriages and to call them in halls, and then they can't live up to the etiquette. They don't have even control over what is happening there. The other people have no such concern. They call these people for janaza, and then they don't know the etiquette for that. They might not seek permission from the family or from the imam, and they might disrespect that scholar or that wali or whatever person they've called with fun. Yeah, we want actually him to perform our nikah, come to our party. But then they come, then you should have the guts to stand up, to live up to that standard, and to face all the situation, and to force the people there to submit to the requirements of Sharia, or at least actually side with them. If there you say, oh no, I think my wife's not agreeing, or my father is this, actually, or the people of the area are saying that, like the Kufa people did, then you will be harmed rather than benefit. So that is why a person should not call these people and should not invite these people if the person doesn't know the etiquette. If they don't invite for food, whatever, marriage, or dawah or anything, they're not sinful. They're doing their own thing. But if they do and then they don't actually follow, and they don't actually fulfill the test, then they will fail very badly and then they will be rather harmed. The fine example is the people of Kufa, people of Iraq, people who wrote letters to Imam Hussein, hundreds of letters they sent to Imam Hussein, radiallahu anhu, come and we will follow you, we will abide by you. They were saying their hearts are with us, with Imam Hussein, and their bodies are with Yazid. That's no good. Oh Shaykh, oh Imam, oh Wali, or for example, oh teacher, I love you very much from the heart, but the circumstances are such, I can't actually fulfill this now, I can't live up to. Then why did you call them? So one should be very, very careful in regarding that. But anyway, Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, as a compassion, as a mercy to the people, he mentioned some of the adab, some of the requirements which people should have in relation to the awliya and sulaha or the great people like him. But we are just going to interpret and apply in our time on teachers and students, seekers and students, because those times have gone, but the benefit and the lessons of that time still continue. So it's as though Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu mentioned in different ways and different, but we are just putting some of these teachings together. He said that the mashayikh, the awliya, the imams, or any person, wali of the times, they are the representatives of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we get to know and recognize Allah through both types of attributes, we know that Allah is forever living, and we also believe He won't die. He's not in need. We know the negative things that which are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from. Similarly, we know about the prophets, that what they are, what they can do, and what their status is, and we know the things which does not suit them, which they are free from. For example, they are ma'asum, they are completely infallible and completely protected from sin, and they have many other things which they do not commit sins. Many other matters which they are free from. Similarly, you should understand, likewise we should know what are the qualities or signs that negates the quality of fana fi shaykh, meaning fana fi shaykh means obedience to the shaykh. So what actually absolves you, what actually strips you away from that quality, attaining that quality. Yeah, or you can take the example, like we have objectives and non-objectives in the tariq. The objective is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, following Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Non-objective, dreams, visions, other things. Similarly, regarding mashayikh, there are things to do like respect them, honor them, love them. But there are some things which you should not do. And if you do, you actually you do not benefit, you rather harm. And one cannot attain the status of fana fi shaykh. If you cannot do that, then you don't reach Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and if you don't do that, you don't reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Simple as that. So first thing here radiallahu anhu indicated, which I am mentioning in my own words, first action or deed that slowly but definitely breaks the link with the shaykh or with the teacher is the action of sin. A sin is a chain link that breaks the link of goodness to one's shaykh. So there is a chain of goodness which from myself to a pious man, pious righteous person, and that chain will break because of the sin. If a small sin, it gets harmed, it doesn't break. It's a big sin, it might break if I do again and again. And builds a link of evil. So it breaks the link of goodness to one's shaykh and then it builds a link of evil. There is a connection of evil now actually, which ultimately leads to shaitan, because the connection of evil leads to shaitan. An action of sunnah is a goodness that slowly links up to one's shaykh. If a person follows the sunnahs, that links a person up to the mashayikh and then up to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and similarly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is one thing that if one wants actually to observe the etiquettes, one should avoid actually, especially sin. So let's say a person comes, one should avoid all sins, but especially if the shaykh has prescribed someone, let's say a sheet of tongue or something, whatever, for that person is very, very serious. Was that particular part actually, because their success is dependent upon that part. If they don't, years and years they will fail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not bothered, and doesn't harm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will harm the person. Number two, your relationship with your fellow brothers or sisters in tariq, in the path. This also affects your relationship with the shaykh. You don't think it is with the people, it is with the fellow brothers or sisters. One of the quickest, he mentioned, Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, one of the quickest ways to lose this link is to do this. As it angers the mashayikh, and as it angers the mashayikh, if not to treat the fellow brothers well. So he said one of the quickest ways to link is that, and angers the mashayikh, not to treat the fellow brothers well. A person shouldn't think they are having arguments. So that's why when people very bluntly, I am saying in front of you, when you speak to someone in a bad way or something, to another brother or whatever, your connection is being disconnected. Don't think you are not disrespecting the mashayikh. You are, when you are actually speaking or actually saying or doing something which is, it is like an example of that would be like Rasulullah said, Man aza musliman faqad azani. Whoever harms a Muslim, he harms me. He gives me. Whoever hurts a Muslim, he hurts me. And whoever one azani faqad azallah, and whoever hurts me, and he will hurt Allah subhanahu, meaning actually displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what many people don't understand. Now the salikin who then they are actually fighting and quarreling and doing many things which are actually completely out of order, inappropriate actually. So Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala especially is saying for his time, but I am applying in our times, and teachers and things for understanding, for the sake of understanding. See, this is one of the quickest way to lose the link. And to anger the mashayikh is not to treat the fellow brothers well. Whoever will treat them well, he is actually getting connection established and becoming more sounder with actually the mashayikh, with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa jal. When one has a grudge, has a fallout, mistreats, quarrels with his fellow brothers, it automatically harms your link with your shaykh. It's automatic thing. It's not that you have to go in front of the shaykh and say, I disrespect you, or you are, I mean, that is obviously also directly that thing against the etiquette, but indirectly this is also same thing. It's as the same thing. So a seeker, a talib, or a murid, whatever they call the person themselves, or student, or whatever they want to call, they can. But if they think they are on the path, or they are trying to learn the path of tazkiyah, this they have to observe. And Rasulullah said, who were the murideen of the Prophet ﷺ? The Sahaba. So they said, if you harm them, you're harming me. You never think you can please me or you're pleasing me. But here people, other people, many people, because of not knowledge or understanding inside, they think, oh, we are respecting, we love the Shaykh. Who will not love awliya Allah and the mashayikh if someone wants things, etc.? They will. But actually, how they will show it that they really do is through other means. How is that your link with the Shaykh will remain strong, who shows the best character and conduct to the followers and to the brothers, and his followers adopt? So, how is that your link affected with the Shaykh, or remain strong or break? Will be at who shows the best character, obviously strengthen and conduct. And his followers adopt the worst conduct. So how can the link, Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala is saying that when the Shaykh is following, he is following the best conduct and the follower is following the worst conduct, what is the relationship, what is the similarity, how are they going to benefit? They're completely in different lines, different roads. How is that your link with the Shaykh is strengthened when the Shaykh will remain strong, who shows the best of character and conduct, and his followers adopt the worst of conduct, which is not even expected from other Muslims too. This behavior is not acceptable, especially for those who are on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This cannot be the case that one claims to follow the Shaykh and yet his character and actions are going against such teaching. So this is number 2, one of the actually things which not to do, and also what to do, etc. So these are things which are actually mentioning to you what not to do. Actually, this is also etiquettes and actually adab. Number 3, not fulfilling due rights of parents, families, next of kin, and those people around you. Now, what they do with you in response or in their behavior, that is up to them. They get harmed or benefit from that. But what you do, you will get harm or benefit because of that. So not to fulfill the rights of parents, families, next of kin, those people around you. You cannot truly remain a follower of a Shaykh if you are not conscious of fulfilling the rights of others upon you. This is the very action that goes against the teachings of any Shaykh. That this is all Mashayikh actually, across the board, this is common teaching actually, that you should fulfill the rights, especially parents, families, relatives, etc., etc. And this, if you do violate that, that also affects your relationship. Especially when they come and complain against you. Imagine, one is doing that and one is as a wife comes, husband comes, or uncle come, or any other, or this person is, or another person comes. Sometimes it happens that you are doing business with someone, you are in partnership with someone, you are trusted, and people come to the teacher, or this person have done this, please help us. Imagine what spirituality, what akhirah, what tazkiyah actually is the person talking about or expecting, or is a joke or something he has actually made out of it. Number 4, and not having concern for the Ummah to convey the message of Deen. How is it that the Shaykh is spending night and days to serve people and are traveling around the countries and the world to reach out to people, and yet you are simply content with your life? So like Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala is applying to himself, that he is people are coming to Makkah to perform Hajj, and Imam Hussein is leaving. So what kind of followers are those? If they truly claim to love Imam Hussein, the Imam is leaving Makkah. And they are going towards Makkah from Iraq and others actually. Imam is leaving from Medina and they are going towards Medina. Who had more understanding of deen? People going on Hajj and people going on. So sometimes actually people going on very like Hajj and other things without proper permission and etiquette, they don't benefit. And the way to get permission is not this, that I plan for journey of Hajj or whatever, going to Pakistan or going to, and I come to a teacher or any pious person, I have come to seek permission from you, I'm going Pakistan, I'm going on. What kind of permission is this? That you made the plan, you made the intention, you put the tickets, or you make a strong message that you are definitely going now, you have come to just get a rubber stamp. That is even a joke. If you would have not come, maybe it was better, and you've gone to Hajj, maybe you benefit. But now it's as though you are make a decision and getting the signature of the sheikh on there. That is not a problem. They are not going to say, don't go to Hajj. I am going to Hajj, I am going to do the mosque, I am going to Madinatul Munawwara. Actually, well, give me permission. So they can't say we don't give you permission. You are doing something good, but will you get goodness or not, you benefit, that is the next matter. But by principle, this is not something bad you are doing. So the matter to seek permission is to completely abandon whatever you are doing, mention your circumstances, that I have this, and this is my situation, etc., etc. If they say good and well, if not, then actually that it is. That's as the West is. So that's not a good way and good etiquette, because we are talking about etiquette, that you make a decision and you say, I have come to seek permission to do this, to permission to do this, permission to marry, etc., etc. I have found a girl, I have found a boy, whatever I want. This is not the actual way. But anyway, Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala is indicating that the not having concern for the Ummah, that the day and night, the true wali, Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala himself or his followers, until day of judgment, the true Mashayikh, they will be in concern and fikr of the Ummah, that how the Ummah can be delivered from shaitan to the feet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from hell to paradise. And this person is not bothered about that. He is just happy with himself, only focusing on your own actions and not showing any effort, or at least not having a fikr about how to preach and how to reach out and convey the message to others. These are two opposites that do not match. So that person will very rarely benefit, actually, although he is just focusing on himself and not doing have any concern for the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or for Amr bil Maruf and Nahi anil Munkar. He's getting on with his own life. Another 1.5 is not thinking about the sheikh when one is absent. One may be absent from, physically, but one shouldn't be absent spiritually, and that means one may be absent from thinking about one's sheikh. It may be the case where many hours, days, and weeks may pass without ever thinking about one's sheikh or to be present with them in one's mind. How can one claim to love someone when one is absent completely from them day after day, hour after hour? If you have little bit of love of something, you remember that. Remember, here it's a matter of Aqidah. It doesn't mean the Shaykh is with you all the time. If It just means that you thinking of them and in your heart or mind. That is wrong aqidah to believe that, yes, you can think if it helps you, meaning actually the presence of shaykh in the way in the mind, but that in no way means actually physically that they are with you all the time, although it might happen actually sometime as a karamat or something from a miracle point of view, but not actually, normally that's not the case. Another point, one of the most detrimental aspect that harms, even breaks one's relationship with one's shaykh is, after knowing your duties and actions, you become lethargic and complacent in your actions and duties. You develop a false notion that you are now very close to the shaykh and the shaykh will never deliver you, and now shaykh will now deliver you to your salvation. You feel you do not have to put much effort now. The mashayikh are very people of mercy. They entertain, accept, allow anyone to sit with them, and they embrace them with open arms. Many have the opportunity to be in their company, and they then start to think and feel that I attend to their gatherings regularly, I be in their company, therefore my relationship with the shaykh must be good. Hence one's actions and deeds slowly starts to fade away, but in fact their link with the shaykh withers away due to this complacency. So this is means actually that a person, the amal, or the deeds or action, any action, if someone says that you put your slippers or the shoes of people there, or do this carpet cleaning, etc., that is where they are going to get the qurba for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, not through actually doing dhikr and things, etc. That might have the other effect, because they know better for the person. So a person should not be self-choosing things, oh, I wish they could give me this, I wish they could give me this. That might be harmful for you. So a person should live completely, like I was saying, that one shouldn't choose things by oneself as such. But when they say, then utmostly, very strictly follow that, and a person will benefit and reach quickly to a journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The final point with the Imam said about one of the most severe action that instantly breaks one's relationship with the shaykh is one using the shaykh, their teachings, their ways as a means to attain dunya. That means to attain what you want from people. You want to set up this, you want to do this, you want to set up an organization or whatever, and some you want to be known, or you want some actually your own way actually, in matters. So using their teachings and their affiliation to attain dunya. How foul is this action? One should be ready in mentally to sacrifice this dunya and whatever it contains for deen and mashayikh. And deen and mashayikh are the representatives, guide bearers of your deen. So Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu said that also harms. It's like what the people of Kufa did. They wanted government upper hand in dunya, and they used Imam Hussain, you come and you become the leader, so that they will become leaders as well, I mean politically. Look what happened. यही होता है, ये ऐसे लोगों का, ऐसे मुरीदों का, ऐसे शागिर्दों का, कि जो कि मदाह शायख ये दुनिया और दुनियावी चीज़ें हासिल करने की कोशिश करते हैं, to honor, prestige and honor, worldly, or actually this is worldly as well. दीन में भी दर्जा ओहदा हासिल करना, ये भी दुनिया ही है. This is love of fame and name. So if a person is saying that instantly, because that is completely 90-degree angle, completely you may say opposite, in the sense that one direction is going left, the other one is going right, one is going up, one is going left. So that is totally, again, because the thing was he said, but rather one makes the matters completely, one have made the matter completely upside down. The thing was that person should be willing to sacrifice his honor, his time, everything for deen. And mashayikh are the representatives of the deen, so for them. And person is using the deen and them to earn dunya, political power or fame in the people, or somehow an office or an. That is why mashayikh detest those who seek their help purely for worldly reasons. A person who comes purely for worldly reason, if he does not get harmed from the wali, Shaykh Abdul Aziz Dabbaw said, he is lucky person. जो सिर्फ दुनिया को मांगने दुनियावी मसला लिए बीमारी आ गई हमारी मशाइख जो सारे अक्सर मशाइख बीमार हैं, मैं खुद बीमार हूँ. अब इसमें क्या है? अगर उसमें मैं बीमारी में सब्र करूँगा अल्लाह कुर्ब मिलेगा, नहीं करूँगा तो इसमें ये बीमारी लगना, नुकसान होना और फाइनेंशियली गरीब होना, ये तो सारे अम्बिया औलिया में रहा है. तो इफ़ यू ओनली कम फॉर दीज पीपल, मेरे माली मामलात नहीं ठीक, मेरी सेहत नहीं ठीक, तो वह देखे अगर उनके वो इख्तियार में हो तो उनकी क्यों ख़राब हो. तो ये तो आजमाइश है दुनिया, ये इम्तिहान है दुनिया का, अल्लाह पाक ने इम्तिहान के लिए भेजा हुआ है. हाँ ये है कि वो अल्लाह के महबूब बंदे होते हैं, अल्लाह पाक उनकी दुआ बाद मरतबा चाहे तो कबूल फरमा लेता है या उनकी वजह से किसी पर रहम कर दे, उन पर वो अलहदा बात है. But that does not mean actually that they have all the power in their hand. They are also in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like you are in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rather, they depend upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than us, more than myself actually, because they know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more. They feel more helpless than I feel because they have more marifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there is nothing like that. No one should think. That is why Mashayikh detest who seek their help purely for worldly reasons. They consider as though these people are verbally abusing them when they intend to meet and speak to the Mashayikh for worldly reasons only. Imam Hussain said, it is like swearing to the Mashayikh. They consider it is like this, that we are detaching people from dunya and actually love dunya and think, and this person only wants this actually from us as well. So it's like disrespecting at highest level their authority. This it's like a shaykh has or any person have a wife or sister or whatever, and the other person come and they actually speaks anything bad about them. It's simply like that they honor and respect the deen and thing. Then the other person comes and he tries to attain dunya through them. Also, he radiallahu anhu said that these are some of the major points from the negative side, what one should not be doing if one wants progress or closeness to the mashayikh or fanafi shaykh or the etiquettes or the obedience. He said these are some of the major points to be highlighted. There are much more one may relate as well. Obviously, in other khutbahs and other things, there have been many, many other things as well, the positives which I mentioned. And this. So this is something, one also from the story of Karbala and what happened there. Also, there is a black side to it from the people of dunya point of view, from Yazid point of view, from Kufi, that those who just outwardly claim to love and then they are not following, they are not living up to it, and they are not actually, they don't consider their work their work. So it is a whole package, it's not one person package of the teacher. So one should listen and reflect, and you will find that these are the people who don't have these bad qualities. These are the real seekers, and they really benefit, even though they are in other countries, even though they don't meet the shaykh, even though they are in other, they are the actual closer to their heart, and they know that, and this is how it is. Physical closeness is not effective because many people are physically close to Imam Hussain radiallahu anhu, yet Yazid was physically closer than you to Imam Hussein in his time. But you are, I'm saying not anyone else, you sitting there, you are closer to Imam Hussein than Yazid. If you do not follow the footsteps of Yazid. But if you yourself are also follower, then you are in the same category as well. But I'm saying if a person is not violating these things and he is sincere, it's not enough to say now for you, I love Imam Hussein, I have his teachings. That's what the Kufi people said as well. It is what you are doing in practical aspect, like Sayyidina Imam Hussein radiallahu anhu said about your parents, your family, your mashayikh, the deen, and behavior with the fellow brothers and sisters and things. Until a person doesn't think, as I mentioned before, that when he's dealing with the creation, he's as though he's dealing with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he's dealing with people, he's as though he's dealing with Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani, Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabao, or actually whichever person he respects. Until he doesn't come to that level, he won't be able to stop harming himself. Because when he thinks they are something else, he will do silly things, he will do harmful things, and then it is all connected. And then they are going to be harmed. That person who comes and he's pure from these things, he flies, he's like on a turbo boost instantly. Like people will go on Sirat, bridge of Sirat is very, very long, but there will be people going in the speed of lightning, in the speed of wind. It's these people actually, the bridge which is between Allah and the servant. If a person have these, they fly, means they're very, very close. Actually. And they can easily reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are some people who have these qualities already, that they are good people, good natured people, not quarrelsome, not argumentative. They come first day, second day, in weeks and months, they benefit immensely. Why? Because they already these don't have. So it is like Shaitan who was there, same example of him as well. That who is there, but who thought if I mistreat Adam alayhi salam, I'm fine with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But that's not the equation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not consider that. He said, no, you mistreat Adam, you break relationship with me. And you have. So Shaitan was physically very close to angels, physically very close to the Arsh and the Jannats and the presence and the heavens. But he lost it because of this reason. And some people living on the face of the earth, outwardly they are somewhat sinful, but because just being good people in the sense of relationship with people and the creation, these virtues are so much dominating that it dominates their little bit of evil and sins which actually happen because of shahwa or other things or whatever. So yeah. Jazakallah, if anyone wants to ask anything, they can. Otherwise, inshallah. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
सर जैसा आपने अभी फरमाया और मतलब इसके बाद किसी किस्म की मतलब सवाल की गुंजाइश नहीं रह जाती, लेकिन ये तमाम मतलब ये चीज़ें ये बुराइयां मैं अपने अंदर ये पाता हूँ और इंतहा दर्जे में पाता हूँ, तो आया इससे क्या मेरा और आपका या इसी लिहाज से मतलब जो मतलब सारकीनों का तल्लक अगर वो अपने अंदर ये चीज़ें पाते तो मुकम्मल तौर पे कट जाता है?
हाँ, नहीं, नुकसान होता है। तो उन्होंने जो फरमाया आखिर पे, जिससे कट जाता है वो तो तब है कि जब वो बंदा दीन को, मशाइख को, नबी अलैहिस्सलाम की मोहब्बत और इन चीज़ों को सिर्फ दुनिया हासिल करने के लिए और हुब्बे जाह, तो जो आखिरी पार पर इमाम हुसैन रज़ी अल्लाह, ये सारी उन्हीं की तालीम है जो उन्होंने आखिर पे फरमाया कि भाई उससे वो कट जाता है, दूसरों से नुकसान है पहुँचता है, कमज़ोर हो जाता है, इट वीकन्स। But especially the last thing जो आपने फरमाई, देखना sin के बारे में फरमाया, it slowly breaks away, etc., etc. And for others he also said the relationship is harmed, and one of the most detrimental aspect that harms and sometimes breaks, etc., is, he mentioned some, and especially the finally one he went that the most severe action that instantly breaks one's relationship is one using the share and the teaching and their way as a means to attain dunya. तो उससे जो है तो वो तो फिर निरा ही शैतान के साथ यही हुआ ना. He was trying to attain dunya, and he was using his virtue, his goodness, his status wherever to be I am the best, actually, meaning that is to attain a love of fame. तो अब देख लें वो instantly break हो गया, उसी वक्त ख़त्म हो गया. Whilst others like Adam alayhi salam also ate the forbidden fruit, लेकिन आपका ताल्लुक जो है वो टूटा नहीं. वो बाज़ दफ़ा और इस तरह जो और बंदे हैं अम्बिया ने तो मासूम है, वो उन्होंने तो फल भी जो खाया वो अल्लाह की मोहब्बत में और अल्लाह के हुक्म ही समझ के उन्होंने खाया, कोई नाफरमानी समझ के नहीं. तो जो है जो हमारे लोग जो इधर हैं जो गुनाह थोड़ा बहुत करते हैं इधर, उनका भी ताल्लुक कमज़ोर होता है, टूटता नहीं. तो ये चीज़ है. वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.
Two things. First of all, person has a personality, and does he have his behavior may not be to the standard, but does that have attention element in it, so that he may display character? But does that just relate to character, or the harming himself, or does he have an element of attention in it? That's one.
Right.
The other one is that how do you ask a sheikh? You might the example yourself gave that you might want to do something, and then you go to the sheikh and you present that. He said, very fine, maybe I'm not understanding it, but again, the element of attention in it, you might have a suggestion or an idea to go to the sheikh and discuss it, but he may fear that the person has made the decision himself. I just need some more clarification on the attention aspect of it.
Yes, the niyat and the intention is utmost, it's the central pivot actually, which affects the negatively or not. When the amal outside, amal is, let's say, disrespectful, it's wrong, then even you have good intention, that actually is not counted. But when the practice is just general thing, but actually the intention is good, then the intention is very effective. It always protects the person as well. If he does not have bad intention and he's saying something with good intention, so that has, you may say, a very strong part to play. Yes, it does affect. It's like when this verse was revealed, لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي, that don't raise your voices above the voice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the companions who had naturally a high voice and loud voice, this was natural accent. He thought that I've been violating this many times, so he didn't come to the majlis of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mostly stayed home and was crying and weeping. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the Sahaba Ikram that I'm not seeing that person. They said he went to inquire, and they said this is the state. Prophet ﷺ called him and he said, no, you are not from one of them. nor you have made intention of that. So intention have very much role to play in there. And the other question which you have asked, that how not to make a decision but actually seek mashwara, that is that you have options. For example, let's say I want to go to Pakistan, or there many countries are. I intend to have options, but I've not made a decision. I want mashwara or anything like this. So if I come and say I want to go to Pakistan and seek your permission, that will be like you are making a decision. You are just informing. You are not mashwara. It's not ijaza. It's not permission. It's informing. Informing. That's a person should just straightforwardly say, I have come to inform you. Okay, good and well. Now, but if a person, the proper etiquette would be that you mentioned that my intention, if in your opinion is good, is to travel and wherever you think, and then I can travel. If not, then I can do something here, whatever. Meaning now you are leaving the situation fluid, and now opinion or a mashwara can be given. A mashwara can be given to them, and this is similar would be the case. For example, let's say a marriage, a person have chosen a person, they already love that person, they already are, and they say, I want to marry that person, I come to seek permission. You, person, already. The proper way would be that I intend to marry, if you think it's appropriate for me now, according to my circumstances, and I have these options, whichever, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, which you, what would you advise? So that would be, meaning you come, you show your intention and present your options. You show your intent, what you would want to do, and say if that's appropriate for me, firstly, if that is appropriate for me to marry, to do this at this time, and secondly, present your options. I have these means, and this is then. If not, meaning the mashayikh and all, they don't say to people that you must ask for mashwara, anything. If they do on their own something good, whatever they are, according to their intention, they will get rewarded, they will benefit. The problem is only that this is like a joke, or you may say a disrespect, that you made a decision and you are outwardly as though showing that you have not made a decision, and you are saying give permission, etc., etc. That is the thing, actually. Yeah. It is like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you can learn from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam teacher was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam had inclination, rather than the Qibla of Baitul Muqaddas, he had inclination towards the Kaaba, because it was first house. It was built by Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and etc. It was in Makkah, and Sayyidina Ismail lived there, etc. Everything. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I want this, or I want this to be Qibla. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, what he sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, he had this desire, but he presented this desire to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometime he will look at the heavens and then turn his face again back to down, actually, by just expressing desire, but in the heart. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ. We have seen your face, actually, moving towards the sky, looking towards the sky, that it actually, you raise your blessed face to the فَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَهَا. Now face the Qibla which you like actually to face. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a decision. فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ, and face actually the Masjid al-Haram. So Astaghfirullah. But these things are something for after, but before that, matters which the teachers, the mashayikh have prescribed, they are the most important things, especially if they are to do with halal and haram. So wo hai obviously, so that gradually a person goes there. And the wisdom behind all of it is not the teachers or the Sahaba or anything. The wisdom behind is that the same nature a person develops, the attitude he develops with the mashayikh, the same attitude he will actually then have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because he is being trained to actually this smaller level so that he can have a good and sound relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because from that he will understand that how should I have a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. ठीक है जज़ाकल्लाह सुब्हानकल्लाहुम्मा बिहम्दिका नशहदु अन ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैक व ला हौला